Welcome to Inside British Royals. This is your exclusive look inside the world's most famous family. We are exploring the scandals, secrets, and power plays that define the modern monarchy. If you are new here, please do well to hit that subscribe button for more updates. It's the story that continues to send shockwaves through the British establishment. For years, the connection between Prince Andrew and the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein has been a tangled mess of explosive allegations, unanswered questions, and carefully worded denials. But now, the ground is shifting. The release of a mountain of evidence has triggered an unprecedented police response, and the walls that have long protected the powerful are finally starting to show cracks. A coordinated dragnet is closing in a move many thought would never happen. At least 8 separate UK police forces are now actively assessing information from over 3 million pages of the explosive Epstein files. This isn't just another headline. It's a multi-jurisdictional police operation, with a senior policing source warning of an expected tsunami of allegations. At the center of this storm are damning sex trafficking allegations, the flight logs of Epstein's private jet, and the man now known simply as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. To grasp the scale of this moment, you have to understand the evidence. We're talking about more than 3 million documents, a flood of flight logs, emails, financial records, and personal calendars that expose the intricate web Epstein spun around the world's elite. For years, much of this was sealed, the subject of rumor and speculation. Its release has prompted United Nations-appointed experts to suggest the existence of a global criminal enterprise. The sheer volume is so immense that the National Police Chiefs Council has established a national coordination group. This group isn't an investigative team itself, but it's acting as a central hub, supporting the individual police forces and ensuring a consistent approach as they dig through the material. They're working with the National Crime Agency to navigate the complexities of securing information from overseas, a task they admit will take time. But the message is clear. The police and their partners are taking this matter extremely seriously. The days of turning a blind eye appear to be over. This isn't a single inquiry. It's a multi-front assessment of potential crimes across the United Kingdom. At least 8 forces have confirmed they are sifting through the files, each focusing on a different piece of the puzzle. So who is doing what? First, Surrey Police. They've announced they are assessing allegations of sex trafficking that took place in the affluent village of Virginia Water between 1994 and 1996, and have urged the public to come forward. Then there's Essex Police, and their focus is on Stansted Airport. This comes after former Prime Minister Gordon Brown made the explosive claim that the Epstein files show in graphic detail how the airport was used to fly in girls from Latvia, Lithuania, and Russia. Brown noted that Epstein even boasted about how cheap Stansted's airport charges were. Essex Police have since confirmed they are assessing all information related to private flights into and out of the airport. The flight logs themselves are a critical piece of evidence. A BBC investigation found that at least 87 flights linked to Epstein either arrived at or departed from UK airports between the early 1990s and 2018. Gordon Brown highlighted that Epstein's jet made an astonishing 90 flights to or from UK airports, including 15 that occurred after his 2008 conviction for procuring a child for prostitution. The logs are often incomplete, with passengers listed simply as female, leaving a dark cloud of suspicion over who was on those planes and why. Bedfordshire Police are also believed to be reviewing flights that used Luton Airport, another key hub for private jets. Perhaps the force with the most direct link to the royal scandal is Thames Valley Police. Their jurisdiction covers Windsor, including Royal Lodge, Andrew's former home. They are assessing at least 2 separate claims against the former prince, including an allegation that Epstein sent a woman to the UK for sex with Andrew in Windsor and, just as damaging, claims of misconduct in public office. Finally, the Metropolitan Police in London are also part of the national group, with their involvement including a criminal investigation into Peter Mandelson, a former government minister, over allegations he passed information to Epstein. While the flight logs paint a disturbing picture, It's the contents of newly unsealed emails that bring the allegations against Andrew Mountbatten Windsor into sharp focus. For years, he has vehemently denied the claims made by Virginia Giuffre, who alleged she was trafficked by Epstein and forced to have sex with the prince. Now, unredacted emails have surfaced containing claims that Andrew had sex with Giuffre at Buckingham Palace, directly contradicting his public denials and casting a shadow over the multi-million-dollar settlement he paid to her. But the scrutiny doesn't stop there. Thames Valley Police are assessing what could amount to a staggering abuse of power. Emails from when Andrew was the UK's Special Representative for International Trade and Investment, a role he held from 2001 to 2011, are under review. These communications appear to show him forwarding potentially confidential government reports and briefings directly to Jeffrey Epstein. The documents reportedly included sensitive information about internal conflicts at Aston Martin and arrangements for an official trip. One report from a tour of Southeast Asia was allegedly forwarded to Epstein shortly after Andrew received it from his advisor. A formal complaint has since been filed, citing potential breaches of the Official Secrets Act. This shifts the narrative from personal misconduct to potential corruption and a betrayal of his public duty. The monarchy is in full-blown damage control. The Epstein scandal created a crisis that forced the royal family into a defensive posture. In January 2022, Queen Elizabeth II took the decisive step of stripping Andrew of his military affiliations and royal patronages, and he ceased to use the His Royal Highness style in any official capacity. More recently, King Charles has taken further action, and in early February 2026, Andrew was forced to vacate his longtime home at Royal Lodge. Buckingham Palace has stated it is ready to cooperate with any police investigation, a necessary and very telling statement. The political fallout is just as severe. The scandal has rocked British politics, with calls from members of Parliament to launch a formal probe into Andrew's conduct as a trade envoy. The links to Peter Mandelson, who was appointed to a diplomatic role by Prime Minister Keir Starmer before being dismissed over the Epstein revelations, have created a major headache for the government. Gordon Brown has called it the biggest scandal, a sentiment reflecting the immense public pressure for accountability. No matter how powerful the individuals involved, the director of the Crown Prosecution Service has affirmed that the law will be enforced impartially. This coordinated police assessment is the first major test of that promise. What we're witnessing is the slow, methodical work of justice finally beginning to turn its gears. We have millions of pages of evidence, a national police coordination effort, and at least 8 police forces assessing specific, credible allegations ranging from human trafficking to misconduct in public office. The flight logs of the Lolita Express touching down on British soil, the damning emails passed between a prince and a predator, and the historical allegations of trafficking in a quiet English village are no longer just whispers. They are now active lines of police inquiry. No criminal charges have been filed against Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, and these assessments could take a very long time. But for the first time, a comprehensive, multi-agency effort is underway to get to the truth. The central question can no longer be avoided. With the full weight of British law enforcement now dissecting the evidence, is the man formerly known as Prince Andrew finally facing a real reckoning? This is a story that's far from over. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our continuing updates as this investigation unfolds. What part of this story do you find the most shocking? Let us know in the comments.